Ever wondered when's the perfect time to retire in the U.S.? As a financial advisor with over 25 years of experience in New York, I've helped hundreds from California to Florida retire early and live financially free. In the next 20 minutes, I'll share 3 powerful reasons, backed by data and real stories, to retire earlier than planned. Watch now to start your freedom journey. Hello, I'm a financial advisor with over 25 years of experience in the U.S., guiding hundreds of clients from New York, California, Texas, to Florida toward financial freedom and early retirement. In the U.S., where living costs are high, a family of 4 in San Francisco needs about $5,000 per month, and work stress is relentless. Deciding when to retire isn't just about money, it profoundly impacts your health and happiness. Today, I'm sharing 3 compelling reasons you should consider retiring earlier than your current plan. These reasons are rooted in my experience, reinforced by research from trusted sources like the World Health Organization, WHO, Vanguard, and Dalbar, and brought to life with real stories from my clients. Each reason comes with specific advice you can apply now. Let's dive in. Reason 1. Your health declines faster than you think. One of the biggest reasons to retire early in the U.S. is that our health doesn't last as long as we hope. According to the World Health Organization, WHO 2023 report, the average healthy life expectancy for Americans, the years you live without serious conditions like cancer, heart disease, stroke, or diabetes, is just 66.3 years. Meanwhile, a 2024 Gallup survey shows Americans plan to retire at 65 on average, leaving you only about 15 to 18 months of healthy time to enjoy life after decades of work. This is a wake-up call. Imagine spending 30 to 40 years working hard, saving millions, only to find you lack the energy to travel, hike, or play golf with friends due to an unexpected health issue. I saw this with Linda, a 67-year-old client in Chicago. Linda worked as a bank manager in New York until 66, amassing $1.8 million in her 401k and IRA. She dreamed of retiring to explore Europe and learn salsa dancing. But just 6 months after retiring, Linda was diagnosed with heart disease, forcing her to limit travel and focus on treatment. She told me, "If I'd retired at 60, I could have lived my dreams during my healthiest years." Linda's story isn't unique. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC 2023, reports that 60% of Americans over 65 have at least one chronic disease, and 35% have 2 or more, significantly reducing quality of life. Personally, at 62 and retired for a year, I felt this reality. My family has a history of high blood pressure, and while I'm healthy now, I know time is limited. Last year I hiked the Grand Canyon, a lifelong dream. If I'd waited 5 more years, I might not have had the strength to do it. So, how can you make the most of your healthy years? Here's specific advice. Prioritize regular health checkups now. Schedule annual physicals, especially for heart health, blood sugar, and cancer screenings. Early detection can extend your healthy lifespan. The American Heart Association 2023 says regular blood pressure checks cut stroke risk by 40%. Build a healthy lifestyle early. Exercise at least 150 minutes/week, like brisk walking or yoga. Eat a diet rich in vegetables and lean protein, and sleep 7 to 8 hours nightly. A 2022 Harvard study shows this lifestyle can add 5 to 7 years to your healthy life expectancy. Plan a flexible retirement. If finances worry you, consider part-time retirement. For example, John, a 58-year-old client in Texas, shifted from full-time engineering to part-time consulting, cutting hours to 20/week. This gave him time to travel and prioritize health while maintaining income. Use healthy years for passions. Create a bucket list now, things you want to do in retirement, like learning a new sport, visiting Alaska, or spending time with grandkids. Then, set financial goals to retire 3 to 5 years earlier to ensure you're fit enough to enjoy them. Retiring early isn't just about money, it's about seizing your healthiest years to live your passions fully. Reason 2. Your job is more stressful than you realize. The second reason to retire early is that your job may be silently harming your health and happiness more than you think. In the U.S., work stress is unavoidable. The National Institute of Mental Health, NIM 2023, reports that 55% of American workers experience moderate to high stress levels, and 30% face mental health issues like anxiety or depression due to this pressure. Many don't realize how stressed they are until they leave their job. I call this the frog in boiling water syndrome. In your 20s or 30s, work stress might just be meeting deadlines or pleasing a boss. But over time, responsibilities pile up. Paying a mortgage, averaging $2,500 per month in California, per Zillow 2024. Saving for college, averaging $40,000 per year for public universities, per College Board 2024. Caring for aging parents or facing layoff risks in tough economies. You adapt to the pressure, but it builds chronic fatigue. I worked with Robert, a 59-year-old marketing director in Los Angeles. Robert worked 60 hours per week for 30 years, managing a 20-person team and traveling often. He thought he was fine with the stress because he was used to it. But when he retired at 60, Robert told me, "I didn't realize how tense I was. Now, I sleep better, my blood pressure's stable, and I feel truly relaxed for the first time in years." Post-retirement, he started learning guitar and fishing with his son, things he never had time for before. I experienced this myself. As a full-time financial advisor, I woke at 5 a.m. to check markets, met clients all day and worked late on reports. Since retiring last year, I've realized how precious time freedom is. Now, I can walk in the park in the morning, read at noon, or join a cooking class without deadlines looming. The American Psychological Association, APA 2023, says chronic work stress raises heart disease risk by 35% and depression risk by 20%. Retiring early lets you escape this, improving physical and mental health. Here's specific advice. Assess your stress level now. For 1 week, note when you feel stressed at work, e.g. during meetings or tight deadlines. If you're often exhausted or sleepless, it's a sign to act. Reduce stress before retiring. Talk to your boss about cutting hours or switching to a less demanding role. For example, Susan, a 55-year-old client in Seattle, moved from management to internal consulting, dropping 10 hours per week, easing her into retirement. Build stress relief habits now. Try 10-minute daily meditation. Apps like Headspace help, or a 20-minute walk after work. A 2022 Stanford study shows regular meditation cuts anxiety symptoms by 25%. Plan financially for early retirement. Work with a financial advisor to estimate retirement costs, e.g., 80% of current income per common rule. Invest in low-cost index funds like Vanguard VTI, 0.03% fee, to maximize long-term returns. Retiring early reclaims your time and mental health, letting you live more relaxed and fulfilled. Reason 3, enough money is enough, don't overwork. The final reason to retire early is that once you've hit financial security, working longer for an extra buffer can cost you life's most valuable years. In the U.S., financial security is critical for retirement, as finding high-paying jobs past 60 is tough. But the key question is, what's enough? A 2024 Charles Schwab survey says Americans think they need $1.8 million for a comfortable retirement. Yet, many who hit this goal raise the bar to $2 million or $2.5 million, delaying retirement indefinitely. I call this the buffer trap, always wanting a bit more safety but at the cost of healthy, free years. I worked with David, a 62-year-old software engineer in San Francisco. David had $2.2 million in retirement accounts, enough for $80,000 per year, inflation-adjusted, for 30 years, per a Monte Carlo simulation, 95% success rate. But he wanted $2.5 million for extra security. I asked, is $300,000 worth 2 more years of work, missing time to travel with your wife or play with grandkids? After reflecting, David retired at 62 and now enjoys life in Florida, golfing and joining a book club. Monte Carlo simulations, a staple in financial planning, assess how long a portfolio might last over 25 to 35 years. For example, a 60% stock, Vanguard VOO, and 40% bond, Vanguard BND, portfolio averaging 7% returns could sustain $60,000 per year with $1.5 million at a 90% success rate. But moving from 90% to 95% might require $200,000 more or 2 extra work years. Vanguard's 2023 research suggests 85 to 90% success is sufficient for most, as inflation, taxes, and market returns are unpredictable. Another issue is the moving goalpost trap. I met Emily, a 60-year-old doctor in Boston, who aimed for $1.5 million to retire. When she hit it, she wanted $2 million. At $2 million, she targeted $2.5 million. She retired at 65, regretting missing 5 years to paint and travel South America. Dalbar's 2023 study shows U.S. investors often overwork due to fear of running out of money, costing them 2 to 3% annual returns by delaying investments or selling during dips. Here's specific advice. Define enough money now. Work with a financial advisor to calculate retirement costs based on your desired lifestyle. For example, $70,000 per year needs $1.75 million, 4% safe withdrawal rule. Accept a reasonable safety level. Aim for 85 to 90% Monte Carlo success instead of 95 to 100% to avoid unnecessary extra work. Optimize your portfolio. Invest in low-cost index funds like Vanguard VTI or Fidelity FCROX. Less than 0.05% fees, for 7 to 8% annual returns. At 50, allocate 60 to 70% stocks, 30 to 40% bonds. Near retirement, shift to 50% stocks, 50% bonds. Build an emergency fund pre-retirement. Save 6 to 12 months of expenses, e.g. $30,000 to $60,000, in a money market fund, Vanguard VMFXX, to avoid selling assets in market downturns. Create passive income streams. Explore options like rental properties or dividend ETFs like SPDR SPYD, 4% yield. For example, Laura, a 58-year-old client in Miami, earns $20,000 per year from 2 rental units, enabling her to retire 3 years early. Retiring early once you're financially secure lets you focus on what matters: family, hobbies, experiences, instead of chasing bigger numbers. Retiring early in the U.S. isn't just a dream. It's achievable if you grasp these 3 reasons. Health fades fast, work stresses silently, and enough money is enough. I've seen hundreds of clients from New York to California thrive by retiring early, and you can too. Start by checking your health, assessing stress, and planning finances with an advisor. If this video helped, hit like, share, and subscribe for more financial tips. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.